Come on and arrive in your child's pose. And, there's no need to get still right away. Sometimes the body needs a chance to move a little bit before you settle those hips. And if I have not yet introduced myself, I'm Erin Son, owner of Eat Yoga Drink. I'm happy to be teaching today. Thank you to the Energy Club for your sponsorship. energyclub.com. They have lots of great classes going on that are really safe and accessible to everyone right now, both live and virtual. So come on into your space. Take a positioning of the legs that feels comfortable for you. Maybe the knees are wide, maybe the knees are narrow, maybe somewhere in between. By the way, welcome back to my basement. For those of you who remember this beautiful space, my neighbors are roofing today, so I thought it might be a little less distracting to be here. Take a big breath in. Let it all go. And with each exhale, feel a little bit more softening into the body. Just a little bit more release of any tightness or tension or fear, any anxiety, anything that's gripping you can easily be dissolved with that breath. It's a conscious choice. Let it go. Today's theme is one that recurs over and over, not just in my class, but in yoga classes in general. It's the theme of letting go, parigraha. Willingly, willfully, intentionally letting go of anything that is present in your mind or in your body that just doesn't work for you anymore. It makes you feel trapped or stuck. It's uncomfortable. And once you've acknowledged it, just breathe it out. Just breathe it out. And that goes for not just experiences or thoughts or sensations, but also relationships in your life. There's a quote that some people are meant to be part of your history, not your destiny. And I love that because it reminds us that we have a choice whom we let in. Right? Whom we guard close to our heart and allow to stay close to our experiences because we enjoy their company, or there's something that we thrive in their presence. And there are other people who just drain you, they exhaust you, they take and take and take and take. And maybe today's the day when you just sort of take assessment of your relationships and notice, is there someone that you need to let go? Is there someone that is better part of history than your destiny? So feel the body rooted down to the earth. Feel the way the breath floats in and out of the body, dancing those ribs open, expanding, and then softening and closing. Take a big breath in together and let a big breath go. A symbol of your power to cleanse and detach and release. Deconditioning yourself from those traps. Starting fresh. Excuse me. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, now's a good time to bend the elbows, bring the palms together behind the head. Take a big breath in and let something go. Beautiful. Release those palms. Start to walk them over beyond the right edge of the mat, stacking one palm on top of the other. Pressing deep into the left hip so the left side body feels a nice big broad opening. Maybe sink that left armpit a little bit down toward the earth, giving a deeper stretch. And then keep your right palm where it is. Take your left arm and weave it underneath the right, coming into a little spinal twist. So you release the left shoulder and the head down to the earth. And let the body rest heavily on that left shoulder, giving it a good stretch. Nice. One more breath. Beautiful. We're going to unleash. Come back to center, just finding your child's pose once again, melting the heart, melting the hips. And then walk the hands beyond the left edge of the mat, one palm over the other, opening up into the right side. And just as we begin practice, noticing your breath. Is there room to expand the breath? Find more space on the inhale. Find a richer release on the exhale. And then take that right arm and weave it under the left. Thread the needle. Come down to the right shoulder and the head. Feeling the way the body dances with the breath. And then bring those arms back up in front. One more chance to feel and imprint this juicy, beautiful, enriching child's pose so that you know it's a space to which you can return during practice when you need a little break, a little reset, a little reattachment to that intention if your focus was clouded at all. And then slowly begin to lift the hips up, arriving into a table position where you can find a little space in the body by moving the hips side to side. And then start to float into some cow and cat, offering expansion and contraction into the spine, flexing and extending. And then maybe you add that with some little hip circles. And let your gaze float around here. The more you float the gaze, the more the body will move. And then we'll come back into a nice table position, nice stable table. If you do have blocks, you may want to put them at the top of the mat, maybe one on the left, one on the right. But if you don't have them, it's totally cool. You're not going to be left out. You just make the practice work for you with what you've got. Maybe books or something else, some other household items, cans, big cans of beans works. All right, from here on the inhale, we're going to extend the right leg back. And then we're going to root the inner edge of the foot down and peel the right arm up. Come into a nice extended supported side plank here. Reach that right arm overhead. Maybe just take some little kind of jumping jack arms with that right arm to feel some space created in the ribs. Take one more breath. And then use your strength of the core to lift up. We're going to take just a little kneeling warrior two shape here. So right here, just notice the shoulders, soften them away from the ears. And then flip the left palm, reach up and overhead. And come back to that little kneeling warrior two. Just do that a few times. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, big breath in. And this time as you exhale, cartwheel the hands back to the earth, lift the right leg behind you, and then step the right foot between the hands, finding your low lunge. And this is where I like to use blocks. I can get down to the earth, but I feel like I'm collapsed. Using the blocks, even on the highest iteration especially, helps me find a little bit more space, lifting through the spine, but sinking through the hips. And then I can notice, I've created space. I'm going to walk that right foot a little further. Take a big breath in. Melt a little more. One more breath. Beautiful. On the inhale, we're going to peel the hands up away from the earth. And as you exhale, goalpost those arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Last one, big breath in. Sink down through those hips. Interlace fingers behind the back and lift the heart up to the sky. Gaze up, lift up. One more big breath. Begin to shift the hips back toward that left heel, straightening the right leg, flexing the right foot, and bow the chest down toward the thigh. And notice here if the shoulders are hunched up toward the ears, slide them down and back, lengthening the neck just a little. Breathe in, gazing straight down to the earth. One more breath. Beautiful. We're going to release the bind, bring the hands back down to the earth, and send that right leg back behind. And bend the knee and start to make some circles into that hip. Moving in both directions. Try not to have all the weight shifting to that left palm. Try to keep it even. Use your core for stability. And then bring the knees back, coming back into your table position. Nice. And we'll take that on the other side. So on the inhale, extend that left leg back behind you. Rotate the hip open, root down through the edge of the foot. Peel the left arm up. So you're stacking the shoulders, finding an opening through the side body here. Take a big breath in and maybe just find those little jumping jack arms. Playing around with those little intercostal muscles in between the ribs. Just doing what feels right. Part of the letting go process is letting go of what we think we should be doing, right? Or what we have been doing all along that hasn't been working for us. We keep ourselves stuck in these behavioral habits. Why? Try something different. All right, on the next inhale, use your strength, peel up away from the earth, coming into your kneeling warrior two. Relax the shoulders. Strengthen through the arms, reaching the fingertips in opposite directions. And then let's flip that right palm up and over. Reverse your warrior. Back to your little mini kneeling warrior two. And do that a few times, moving with your breath. Nice. One more. Big breath. And then the hands will come to cartwheel back to the earth, under the shoulders, left leg extended, and then step the left foot through, guiding it between the hands. Use those blocks if you'd like. Peeling up just a little bit. Find some space in the spine. Taking a few breaths to find a little bit more space in the hips. And then once you're feeling really situated, really open here, inhale, lift those arms up, and exhale, goalpost. And when you goalpost, it's not just a passive drawing down of the elbows. You're pulling down like you've got that lat bar, and you're just like, oh, pull it down. Feel the back body engage. Feel the shoulder blades draw together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw down. Bringing some power into this. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Interlace hands in a different pattern behind the back. Allow the heart to open. One more breath. And then shift the hips back toward the right heel, bowing down into your half split. Relax the shoulders, breathe into that left side hamstring, flexing that left foot as much as you want. You'll feel it. One more breath. Beautiful. From here, release the bind, hands back to the earth. Left leg behind you, bend the knee, circle through the hip. And then back to your table position. Beautiful. We're going to start to grow into our down dog here. So flex the feet, drive the toes into the earth, peel the hips up toward the sky, chest to the thighs. And then just where can you make some little adjustments here? Shifting the weight, rocking the hips forwards and backwards, awakening the shoulder joints. Can you maintain that length in the spine? Can you engage into the belly just a little bit more? Elevating those hips. Feeling the thighs rotate toward one another. And then just let that beautiful breath filter through every cell of your body here. Maybe if you like to practice Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath, creating that little constriction in the whisper muscles of the throat so the breath has a little bit of audibility to it, a little warmth to it, both on the in and out breath. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Start to walk your feet to your hands, coming into a forward fold. Hang here in your ragdoll. You can bounce, you can shake, you can shimmy, you can flutter those lips. Make as much noise as you want. You know, everyone wears their tension in different spaces of the body, and if you're a head, neck, and shoulders, jaw kind of person, this feels really good. 2 more breaths, just letting it go, letting it out, letting the earth absorb it. And then slowly come back into stillness and roll all the way up. Coming into standing, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, fold back down. I had to move my camera. I'm not sure if my head's chopped off. Hopefully not. You know where it is, though. You know where to find it on the top of my shoulders. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bow down. Let's do that once more. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach up. And exhale, let the whole breath go. Halfway lift, flat back. And fold. This time we're going to rise all the way up, 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 up. And bring that left knee up into your chest. Take a little standing balance shape for a moment. Breathe into this. And then step that left foot back, coming into a high crescent lunge. Take a big breath in. Exhale, sink deeper with those goalpost arms. And you can open the heart here if you like, or just come straight down with a stacked spine. Inhale, lift up. Begin to straighten that leg as you lift. And exhale, come a little bit deeper. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right here, interlace hands behind the back. We're going to find that little back bend once again. Stay deep in the lunge and focus on inviting the knee out toward the pinky edge of the foot. So you're really squeezing into the thigh, into the glutes. Take 1 more big breath. And as you exhale, begin to straighten the leg and hinge over. So the thigh's going to, chest to the thigh. You can keep the bind. If you feel like you need a little bit of steadiness, you can release the bind and bring the hands down to your blocks that are framing that right foot. You're still kind of up on that left heel, but you can melt that foot down if you want. Looking for a really intense leg stretch. Woo! on that front leg. Take one more big breath. And release the bind. Inhale back up into your high crescent lunge and bring that left knee back up into your chest, back into that nice stork shape. And then release the foot down. Big breath in. Exhale, surrender and fold. Halfway lift, flat back. And breathe out as you let it go. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring that right knee with you this time. It helps to settle the gaze in a fixed spot when you're balancing. And then begin to step that right foot back, high crescent. All right. Take a big breath in. Sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, lift high. Exhale, draw down. Remember, you're at the gym, you're at the energy club on that lat machine, so you're pulling down. Maybe even make fists. Get some hara breath in there. One more. That back leg stays as straight as you're able to keep it. And right here, find your deep lunge. Hands come to either bind or maybe take an elbow to palm bind, or maybe a reverse namaste if there's something else you wanted to try. And open up your heart. And right there, you're just relying on proprioception to make that left lunge really stable by squeezing the muscles and inviting the knee out toward the pinky edge side of the foot. Trust, sense, be present for all of it. One more breath. And then begin to straighten the left leg, bowing down. You can keep the same arm bind if you want, or release the arms down toward the earth. Coming into that intense leg stretch. Let the head melt, let the nose kiss the knee. Mwah. Make sure the breath is still very nourishing, very fluid. One more breath. Beautiful. Release the bind back into your high crescent lunge. Draw the right knee up towards your chest once again. Stork pose. And feet to the earth, mountain pose. Very nice. Take a big breath in, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, a nice flat back. Plant the hands, step one foot back, then the other. Can you believe this is our first plank of the practice, halfway in? But the shoulders are warmed up, core is warmed up, booty and thighs are warmed up, so maybe it'll be easier now than it would have been if we had taken it at the beginning of practice. So press the earth away, press the heels back, tuck the belly up into the spine, draw the shoulders down from the ears. 2 more breaths. One more breath. We're going to lower down. So your choice, you can drop the knees first or simply bend the elbows, lowering down to the earth. Press up into a cobra shape. Baby cobra or full bhujangasana, your choice. Lower down. We'll do that twice more. Inhale. Press the earth away. Remember to press the thighs and the tops of the feet into the earth for support of the lumbar spine. And release. We're going to make our way all the way to downward facing dog here. So press right on up. Take a breath. And let a breath go. Look to the front of the mat, bend the knees, step or hop, arrive, feet to hands. Rise up. Exhale, float down. Hands to shins, halfway. Plant the hands. You can hop back if you want, remembering hopping should always land with soft elbows. Or step right on back, go high to low. Take your flow. That's the way to go. I feel like I'm rapping now. Yogi rap. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Let's do that once more. Look to the front of the mat, bend the knees, step or hop feet to hands. Rise all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Halfway lift. Hands root down. Step or hop. Make your way through a flow. We'll meet in down dog, so you feel free to explore however you want to explore. No rules here. Anything you do that feels good is your practice today, and it's all practice. That's why you hear me repeat a lot of these themes over and over. Letting go of Pargraha. It's a way of life. It's a way of life. It's a yoga yama. It's a code for living. So it's not just a one and done. It's a continuous, a looping back to remembering, to cleansing, to releasing. Take a big breath in. Let something go. On the inhale, right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the knee and invite those big hip circles in. Notice how they may feel different with the hips lifted. Take it nice and slowly or move quickly, however it feels good to release tightness in those hips. And then back to three-legged dog. On the inhale, come forward, stepping the right foot between the hands. Find your low lunge so you can establish your grounding. And then we're going to rise all the way up. Start to open up that left hip, melting the left heel down, arriving in your warrior two. Sorry, my back is to you. All right, so right here, maybe take that right foot and heel toe it out to the right edge just a little bit. Notice how it feels to make that very subtle adjustment, creating a more space in this hip opener. It's an intense hip opener. Take a big breath in. Sink a little deeper. Right, exploring the spaces of your body, trusting that the breath will take you there. Also releasing any barriers by letting go of all those expectations and any self-criticism. On the inhale, flip that right palm, reverse the warrior. And then exhale right on back to warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse. Exhale to warrior two. Do that twice more and just keep noticing you want the right knee to track toward the pinky edge of the foot. Once it gets tired, it wants to buckle in. It's better to straighten the leg than to let it flop. Nice. From here, we're going to cartwheel into extended side angle. And just do that little jumping jack thing with the arm again. Just working your way into the deepest stretch. Once you think you've found it, stay there for about 2 breaths. Keep rolling that left shoulder back. And then look down toward your right toes. And if you have a block, welcome it back in front of the right foot. We're going to come into a half moon here. And it really adds a nice element of stability when you have a block. But if you don't, again, a can of beans works. So we're going to shift into the right foot with the right hand on the right block, lifting the left leg. Keep the left hip open, 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 so that the left hip is stacking over the right hip, ribs over ribs, shoulder over shoulder. Flex into that left foot. That helps you stay stable. And then maybe lift that left arm up to the sky. And if you're feeling really balanced, take your gaze up to the, see, it challenges you. Take the gaze up to the left fingertips. Half moon, balancing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Now breathe. Now that you've arrived. It's okay, it's possible to concentrate and breathe at the same time. Nice, take one more big breath. And then we're going to bend back into the right knee. We're going to get out of this just as deliberately as we got into it, nice and slowly. Whoop. Come on back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And as you exhale, the hands are going to cartwheel to frame the right foot. And we're going to take a side plank opening to the right side this time. So your left palm will root down. Your right leg will stack over the left. And you're going to feel that abdominal strength, that oblique strength, as your hips lift away from the earth. And breathe. You can always drop the knee down. Come into your supported version once again. 2 more breaths, because you've arrived and it feels so good. 1 more breath. Okay, listen up. We're going to come back into a plank pose, but you're going to lift the right leg and step it back up outside of the right pinky, coming into a lizard lunge. And just shift forwards and backwards for a few breaths. Maybe open up, maybe bounce a little bit into the hips, opening up the right knee. That's one of my absolute faves. And then step the right foot back to meet the left. Drop the knees, hips to heels, child's pose. And right here, bring those arms back behind you with the palms facing up and tap those wrists into the earth. The wrists take a lot of weight. They take a lot of weight when you do your plank pose. Even though you're pushing away from the earth, they do a lot of work for you. So we want to give them some love. You can shake them, whatever feels good. And then eventually find yourself in stillness for a few moments, reclaiming the beautiful pattern of deep breath, welcoming your intention back into your mind and filling your body. Take 1 breath in together. Let it all out. Begin to make your way back to downward facing dog. Checking back in with those points of contact, with the spinal alignment, with the hips. Beautiful. On the inhale, left heel to the sky, bend the knee, big hip circles. Nice. Back to your 3-legged dog. And then step the left foot between the hands, finding your firm foundation. Rise up, coming into your high crescent. And then start to open up into your warrior 2. And again, maybe you've already arrived in the deepest expression for you, or maybe it would feel good to challenge yourself a little bit. Heel toe that left foot out to the left edge of the mat. Make a little bit more space in the hips. Nice. Beautiful. Expand across the shoulders. As you inhale, flip the palm, reverse the warrior. Stay deep in the lunge. Exhale back. Inhale, lift that arm. And exhale. Just 2 more breaths like that. Working the breath in and out through the body, across the ribs. And then right here, we're going to come into our extended side angle. Keeping that long energy from the heel, the hip, the ribs, the shoulder, and maybe just doing your little jumping jack arms to make more of an opening. And then find your deepest stretch. Land where it feels really good. Keep in mind just that little idea of rotating the rib cage up to the right. And then gaze down beyond the left toes. Take your block, position it as needed where it will help you. And we're going to shift into that left foot, left hand to the earth or block as we begin to build our half moon shape. Nice. Let me move back into view here. And just check in, right? We're imagining there's a wall behind us. And look, if there's a wall behind you, use it. Really feel it. Sometimes you get the best, deepest opening when you actually use that wall that's behind you. Stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips, keeping that right foot flexed. So the toes are pointing to the right, the heel is to the left. And can you pull up away from the earth just a little bit? Up. Use your body. Trust your strength. Yes. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then gently land. Come on back down to your warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior. That was beautiful. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to frame the left foot. Keep the right palm rooted. Make sure you're stacking under the shoulder. Coming into your side plank, Vashisthasana. Pressing away from the earth. Really use the power of those hips and the core to lift you. Use the power of the breath to sustain you. 2 more breaths. And we're going to land in plank, but step that left foot up to the left pinky. Coming into your lizard. And move a little bit. Butterfly that left knee out a little bit. If you haven't tried it, it feels so good. Beautiful. All right, from here, we're going to step that left foot back to meet the right, back into high plank. Take a few breaths here. Really press the earth away. You've got the strength. You've got the power. Just have to believe in yourself. 1 more breath. And then we're going to lower all the way down to the earth. All the way down. Nice. And once you arrive, you can flip the palms up. Same with the arms nice and wide like in a T. And just tap the backs of the hands into the earth. Feel that joyful beating of the heart. That soulful rhythm within you. Feel the way the body breathes into the earth. You can flip the palms over so they're facing down and just imagine giving the earth a big hug here. Just say thank you. We're going to keep the arms out into a T and start to walk the right hand over toward us, stacking the body once again, but this time we're rolling over onto that left shoulder. So we're giving a nice stretch into the left shoulder. And just, you're going to, don't look because that might strain your neck, but just feel that left arm. It should be perpendicular to your body rather than any kind of angle. And if you're not really feeling much, walk the fingertips away from you a little bit. And then if you'd like, you can lift the right leg. A few things you can do here to challenge yourself. One is take a bind on the left ankle, kicking foot into hand. Another is letting that right foot come all the way down to the earth and tucking your right hand around you like a bind, tucking it underneath your body. Just take a few more breaths, just being here. One more breath. And then slowly start to release your bind. Bring the belly back to the earth. Coming back to give the earth a big hug once again. We'll take it over to the other side. So start to walk your left hand toward you. Walk your right hand away from you. Roll over to the right side of your body. those options are still available to you. Lifting the left leg, binding on the left ankle, kicking foot into hand. It feels really good in the hip flexor. Or flippity flip all together, sliding your left hand under the ribs. And breathe. This may feel really luscious for you, or this may be really uncomfortable for you. Just notice. Don't react. Just notice. Take another breath. And we're going to let all that go, rolling back, belly to earth. Just giving those shoulders a chance to find circulation once again. And we're going to come up for one back bend here. And so you have the choice to do a locust or a bound locust pose, or perhaps a full bow pose. So for locust, maybe you bind now that the shoulders are open, interlace those fingers behind the back once again, squeeze the blades of the shoulders, kiss the toe mounds and heels together and lift up. And if you want to take a full bow, if you just had a big breakfast, this might be challenging for you, but bend the knees, bringing them toward one another, ankles as close to each other as you can get them, and then press the heels up to the sky as you bind on the ankles. Creating that space in the neck once again. Wherever you are, 5 more breaths. Challenge yourself, but nourish yourself. You've got the breath. Beautiful. Let the bind go if you have it. Come on down for just a moment, neutralizing the spine. And then very gingerly with the knees still pressing toward one another, we're going to press into that closed knee child's pose, where the hips find the heels once again and the arms reach forward, or arms by your side or out to a T, wherever you're most comfortable in the shoulders and the chest. Just taking some breaths here. Noticing any sensations within the body. Noticing the state of the mind. Remembering that letting go is not being apathetic to a situation. It's an active conscious process that invites you into freedom by releasing anything that's gripping you. Remembering that the only person that can truly control you is you. So you are consciously and continuously making choices about what you're letting control you. You can let things go. You can dismiss things from your life. You can dissolve attachments. But it is a practice. It's a practice. It requires time. It requires patience. It requires willpower. And sometimes it requires really hard decisions. Take another breath. From here, we're going to move on to one hip and swing our legs around, coming onto our sit bones. Put the feet about hip distance apart, sitting up nice and tall. Just find yourself here. We're going to do a little reverse table position. So you can have your fingertips facing you or out to the side or behind you, depending on where it feels best in your wrist. So when you're ready, start to press into the earth and lift the hips, lift the heart up to the sky. You'll feel it in the shoulders again. And maybe you just move a little bit side to side or just shift a little bit. Take one more big breath. Keep pressing the earth away. And then as you exhale, start to bring the hips through the wrists, straightening the legs. Coming into a Dandasana, staff pose. Scooting to the middle of the mat here. So you should feel the sit bones connecting to the earth and the legs are nice and firm. Heels pressing forward, toes drawing toward you as the feet flex. Sit up nice and tall for a moment, finding your posture. Feel the belly draw in. We usually rush through Dandasana, and I just want to give you a few moments to feel this shape because it's a really powerful shape. There's a lot going on here, a lot to think about, a lot of little things we can tweak. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Start to bend your right knee, drawing it towards you. And we're going to hug it in as we take a twist to the right. Maintaining that long posture that you established in your Dandasana. Crown of the head lifted, tailbone rooted. And just keep twisting. Using the breath to find a little bit more space. Look over the right shoulder. One more breath. As you arrive back in center, cross the right leg over the left thigh. Take a big breath in and start to fold over the left leg. So keep inviting that left knee to drop down, or the right knee rather, to drop down as much as you like. Keep the right foot flexed. Just soften into this forward fold. One more breath. And then rise up. Start to bend the left knee, bringing the heel towards you for a figure four. Or you can turn this into a figure four table if you want by lifting the hips back up to the sky. You want to make the neck nice and long so the ears aren't dipped down, so the head's not digging into the shoulders. One more breath wherever you are. And then slide that left leg back down. Release the hips if they're lifted. Back to Dandasana. Shake out a little bit. Establish your firm seat. Nice tall seat back, like you're shaped like a perfect L. And then draw the left knee in. Sit up nice and tall. Hug the left knee as you twist to the left. Each breath explores a little bit more depth in the twist. Let the gaze guide the way. One more breath. Nice. Coming back to center. Cross left ankle over the right thigh with the foot flexed. Take a breath in and fold. Just arriving wherever you are. We're not judging. We're not reaching for a specific goal here other than just to feel the stretch. One more breath. And then come on back up. Either find your seated figure four for a little hip love or come into a reverse table if you want. Wherever you're going to get the most bang for your buck here is our last shape. Last breath. Uncross the legs. One more time to shake it, shake it, shake it. And then bring those feet back, bending the knees. We're going to take a bind on the big toes. Just get a little silly here as we make our way to the back. We're going to end up in a happy laughing baby with the knees really wide. So see if you can lift the heels up and roll back, but use your strong core to roll back. Yeah, there you go. And make those knees really wide. Rock a little bit back and forth. Maybe straighten one leg and the other leg. Maybe straightening both legs. Feeling the entire back, getting some love here through a massage. Feeling the pressure. And then draw the knees together, arms around your shins for that big hug. Mwah, mwah. Saying something kind to yourself. Thanking yourself, not only for practicing, but practicing with intention to let go. Intention to find freedom and space by detaching from things that are not working in your life anymore. Big breath in. And as you exhale, melt the body all the way down, coming into Shavasana. Those blocks that you have or a bolster come in handy here. Feels really good to put them underneath your knees to support your lower back. Just like that. And once you arrive, let's take one more big community breath. Let it all go. Softening the tongue in your mouth. Relaxing your shoulders and your hips. And melting your body softly into the earth where it lovingly supports you. Shadows fall like midnight on your shoulders, but those shadows will have no grip on you, for they are doomed to be drowned out by the light. And you might feel their heaviness weighing down on your knees, making it harder to walk, to breathe. But you will be all right, for you still are learning what it means to be strong. You are still a capable, thriving being at a slower, shadow-lined pace. Morgan Harper Nichols. Letting go is a practice. It's meant to be approached with loving kindness, patience, time, opening your heart to forgiveness where needed, trusting in the process. Breathe. Hear and feel your breath become a little bit louder, a little bit fuller. Start to move the body. Just feeling the energy excited in the fingers and toes and arms and fingers and head and neck and shoulders once again. And then take a slow journey through side lying position, eventually up to a seated position. And once you arrive, bring the hands together at the heart, pressing palm against palm, or maybe pressing palm against heart. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. Thank you for being so present for yourself today. Thank you for being so present for all of us as well, making this community just so diverse and so rich and so beautiful. I'm grateful to each of you. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing with us this Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday, and I look forward to leading you through another flow. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to reach out to me via email. It's probably the best way to reach me, and I would love to get back to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am reading the comments real quickly before we sign off. So if you wrote something